I never had my own room before.
Well, you're part of this squad now, too.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 questions we need answered in Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
All right, kid. Just stay close. That's where you feel your place is. Then that's where you belong.
You look like you've just seen a ghost.
For this list, we're looking at the most compelling and intriguing questions raised by this Clone Wars spin-off series. If there's a question we failed to ask in this batch, please question us about it in the comments. Number 10. How does The Bad Batch fit into the larger story? We know the timeline of when the show takes place, but we're keen to know how this ragtag group of badass misfits fits into the larger Star Wars universe. Introduced in the last season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, only a year before their show began, the group is still fairly new in the canon overall. So we have to wonder, what will their fate be? We've already seen them encounter characters who will go on to play parts in the early rebellion, like Saw Gerrera.
So, the newly declared Empire sent you to wipe us out.
Will they take the fight to the Empire? Depending on how long the show lasts, it could be a while before we get this one answered fully.
Still don't think the regs are programmed?
Number 9. How do the inhibitor chips work exactly? The inhibitor chip is an organic device implanted in every clone. It's instrumental in causing them to turn on the Jedi and slaughter them during Order 66.
Execute Order 66.
However, on The Bad Batch, there's some indication that it permanently changes their personalities, depriving them of some of their individuality. Still, its exact limits haven't been shown yet. Rex was able to resist it, albeit briefly.
Find him. Find him.
Find him! Find!
We know, too, that it can be removed. Also, while Crosshairs has been activated and boosted, the rest of the batch seems unaffected, for now at least. But could that change? And can the chips be deactivated without removing them?
Tech, you said the regs were programmed, but you never mentioned the chip. How else did you think it worked?
Number 8. What happened to Commanders Cody and Bly? We know the fates of some notable clones after the Clone Wars, but not all of them. We are especially keen to see what becomes of higher-ranked officers like Commander Cody and Commander Bly.
General Sakura, we have a problem.
Both of them turned on their Jedi during Order 66, and while Cody was unknowingly unsuccessful in killing Obi-Wan Kenobi, Bly shot Aayla Secura dead with his men. What will their positions in the Empire be going forward? How have they taken to the conditioning since then? And if they had the chip removed, how would they react to their actions?
Sometimes in war, it's hard to be the one that survives.
Number 7. What will Fennec Shand's role be? Fennec Shand is a sharpshooting mercenary and assassin first seen on TV in The Mandalorian. After initially pursuing Din Djarin, Shand is left for dead and saved by Boba Fett. She becomes his right-hand woman and helps Djarin in his quest and Fett in taking over Jabba's former palace. However, trailers for The Bad Batch show that Shand will appear in the animated series as well. Although we know little about her past, it's mentioned that she's worked for crime syndicates. Could The Bad Batch run afoul of organized crime during their adventures? Or perhaps the Empire contracts her to pursue them? Whatever the case, we are looking forward to seeing more of Fennec Shand. Number 6. Will The Bad Batch turn mercenary? Speaking of mercenaries, we're wondering if The Bad Batch themselves will sell their services. Although they generally did what they wanted even before the Republic became the Empire, Clone Force 99 still probably received funds to perform their missions from the government.
I know you work with Cody sometimes, but who do you guys report to? Good question. Can't say I've got an answer.
Now that they're rogue clones, they'll have to find some way to keep their ship running and food on the table.
Is that an order? I guess it is.
Mercenary work seems like the simplest solution. Of course, since they're traveling with a kid now, and The Bad Batch is nominally aimed at a younger audience, they probably won't be doing anything too extreme.
Hit me again.
Well, that's all for now. Rations are low.
Number 5. Where's Rex? Given his prominent roles in Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels, Rex is one of the most notable clone characters in the franchise.
You're a good soldier, Rex. So was every one of those men down there.
And given that The Bad Batch takes place between those two series, fans are hopeful that the show will fill in some gaps. The Clone Wars series finale left Rex in the company of Ahsoka, although they apparently split up soon after. He's already been mentioned in The Bad Batch, having passed through Cut Lawquane's place before Clone Force 99 arrived.
Sounds familiar. Rex told us about the clone troopers turning against the Jedi.
But where Rex is going and what his plans are remain a mystery for now. We know he ends up living with clones Gregor and Wolf, but we're not sure if either of them are in the current storyline either.
You got old.
Had to happen sometime, Rex.
Number 4. How does the Empire consolidate power? Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars depict the defeat of the Separatists, the fall of the Jedi, and the rise of the Empire.
The Republic will be reorganized into the First Galactic Empire!
However, it's one thing to declare yourself an empire. It's another thing to make it a reality. The Clone Wars might be over, but there are still plenty of leftover droids and other foes like Saw Gerrera to cause the new Empire problems.
The Clone War may have ended, but a civil war is about to begin.
We've already seen some steps it's taking to gain more control over its citizens, such as chain codes. Also, they're beginning to recruit non-clone soldiers. Even so, the Empire's grip over the galaxy is far from complete just yet, and we're morbidly interested in seeing how they achieve it.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Number 3. What's the future of the Empire's cloning tech? Although we know that the Empire and its remnants transition away from using clone troops, they still use cloning technology. In The Mandalorian, Din Djarin and his friends discover tanks filled with misshapen bodies in an Imperial remnant facility, linked to experiments that clone engineer Dr. Pershing has been running using Grogu's blood.
The child is small, and I was only able to harvest a limited amount without killing him.
And in The Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine manages to return from death via clones created by his followers.
Weak. Like your parents.
So, will we see the beginnings of these experiments in The Bad Batch? What will be the continuing role of the Kaminoans?
I fear for the future of our operation. We must ensure our clones remain essential.
Number 2. What becomes of the Clone Army? The Clone Army was created to fight against the Separatists. Now that their purpose has essentially been fulfilled, what's next for all of them?
With the war at an end, the need for future clones is being questioned.
It's suggested in The Bad Batch, as well as in other parts of the Star Wars franchise, that the remaining clones will form the initial backbone of the Stormtroopers. Still, we know that most of them are eventually phased out for conscripted soldiers, explaining the lower level of competence seen among Stormtroopers compared to clone troopers. Still, do the majority of the clones die in another conflict between now and A New Hope? Are they somehow freed of their conditioning and do they rebel? The Clone Wars made us love the clones. We just want good things for them.
Many people wish it never happened. But without it, we clones wouldn't exist.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. What is Omega's importance?
Hello.
What's that?
One of the most intriguing aspects of The Bad Batch is the introduction of Omega, another off-brand clone like the rest of Clone Force 99. She's clearly important, both to the story and to the Kaminoans, since it seems like Nala Se let the group go to save Omega's life. But why is Omega crucial to their plans? Could she be the template for the next generation of clones they want to make?
Kaminoans don't create without a purpose. You all have one, so what's hers?
And since the rest of the Bad Batch has a special sense or trait, what's Omega's? She displays surprising skill with a blaster during their escape, and she seemed to know Crosshair would betray them. This has led many to speculate that she could be Force sensitive. That would be on brand for Dave Filoni.
You're angry.
How perceptive.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.